into Sabutio. Is anyone else ever into Sabutio?
Morning!
I loved Sabutio.
Hello, if you've just come over from Instagram for the first time, there's quite a few people actually on Instagram. I said, just say yes or no whether you've joined us on Coffee Moaning. And loads of people had never joined us, didn't know anything about it.
Possibly because they hate us.
So they may be new now.
Oh, hello. Wave if you've come from Instagram. Wave.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of your comments actually on the rant that I put up earlier, which we are going to talk about around results.
A-level
so I want to
results.
read out some of the comments that people have left on Instagram as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's say good morning to various people.
Yeah.
Shelley Riddler, Clodagh Egan, Sally O'Sullivan, Sarah Fox, Betsy Barn, Michelle Main, Brenda McGee, Emma Carter, Denise, Nelson Gale, Kate McCarthy, Sarah Mutter, Brenda McGee, Superction, welcome back Superction, Alice Kearney, Michelle Main, Lynette Griffith, Brenda McGee, Ellen Bev Hartnell, Jen Leggs, April Hill, Tim Reed. Oh, you're all here. I always have to resist the temptation to go. God blimey, that's electric, isn't it? I have to resist the temptation to go into Boris Johnson mode. How are we all? How is everyone? Rachel Rongay, morning Naffs and Mark. You're called Maths. Ashley Gardner, oh my God, Mark, I'm shocked at your messy room, but I think every man needs one. Where's my messy room? where have you...
Ashley, you are such a snitch.
Oh, that messy room.
Next door. Thank you very much.
Here we go. Here we're getting my GCSE results on Thursday.
No, a minute.
Can I hang on a minute?
On your room.
Are you talking about the pile of clothes?
No, I'm not. I didn't show them that. I stood in the room.
Oh, right.
Because you like the way you stand in my room.
Have I shown your room recently because you've asked me not to?
Mark, you filmed me.
That's
Are
war.
you seriously going to tell me?
That is war.
Are you seriously going to tell me you're not going to show all that stuff that you filmed the other day? You think I was born yesterday?
I'm just going to say that is.
You were just filming it for
stuff.
fun.
Oh God! All right. We had to rush Gizmo to the EVET.
Terrible
What's the
room.
EVET
Looks like a Channel 4 documentary about a hoarder.
Because everything gets tipped in there.
I've never gone in there in my life. There's not a single thing.
The girls do everything. Everything in the doorway is Maddie's. So
interesting, isn't it, Ashley? Interesting.
Yeah. Is it interesting, Ashley?
Very
you wait until you see what I'm going to show you all.
Ashley is such a snitch.
She is such a snitch. Brenda McGee, Sarah, Michelle May, we had to rush Gizmo to the EVET at 3 a.m. He's so poorly. Oh, possibly pancreatitis.
Oh no.
God. Oh dear. We're sending you all our love. And we know how bloody stressful that is when you don't know what's wrong with your dog.
And you forget, we never realised because we'd never had to go to the vet before, but you kind of expect the similar things when you go to the doctor where they tell you exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
But of course, so often with animals, they just don't know.
Hello, Riley in Chicago. Sending our regards to Chicago. I had a Christmas in Chicago. It was lovely. So, good morning, everyone. How is everyone? Anyone here getting their A-level results today, or have a child or a relative or a friend who's getting their A-level results? It's a big day today, especially after
Hello,
COVID
Tracy Barrett. First time joining us. Everyone say hello to Tracy
Barrett.
Tracy. Welcome, anyone. If it's your first time, tell us so we can shout out your name. Hit the subscribe button, Tracy. It doesn't cost you anything.
And we've got a couple of new family guests that I want to sort of welcome at the end as well. Sophie Jo Matilda, hello. Anyone got mine in 1982, Sarah Fox? Yeah, I'm trying to think. What year did I get my A-level results? 1988. Or 88. Hey, Tracy Barrett. Lovely colour on you, Nadia.
Thank you. I love orange.
Does anyone else play Sabutio? I suppose it's principally female audience. Does anyone else play Sabutio? An Italian brand of the flick footballers, which I've talked many times about, which leads me seamlessly to saying thank you to Tori for your lovely, lovely items that you've sent us and your adorable letter. And we want to send all our love to your lovely family.
Thank you.
You are an example, a paragon of optimism in the face of struggle.
Yeah, and also, a reminder of the added struggles that so many people have had through this pandemic. I mean, Thank you.
So
You're a very, very valued member of our little community here. I was just saying to people on Instagram to just describe what we do on here, Coffee Moaning, in a couple of words for those people that hadn't. And they were saying so many lovely things.
You know how I sum up in 2 words? They were saying it's like being
part of a family, it's a community, it's funny, it's this, it's that. It was so nice.
How would you sum it up in 2 words? I can.
Crazy shit.
Talk shit. Maisie Kinsella, can you all get Mark and Nadia to say hello to me because it will make my day because I have a broken foot. Can I please have a song?
Oh, yes, Maisie Kinsella, get well soon, honey bunny bear, honey bunny bear.
Stroke that foot, you've got a broken foot. Maisie Kinsella.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch. Broken foot. Okay, so, when his face pops up, I don't know if anyone who follows the Popcorn Junkies will have seen they've cast the actor, who I have to confess I didn't know, to play Prince Andrew in season 5 and season 6 of The Crown, which in many regards is something of a poisoned chalice, isn't it, really, as an actor. You're going to have to let her know we're alive, though.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Lisa?
Hello.
Don't say anything terrible because we're live on our coffee moaning. Say hello to everybody.
God, I'm sorry.
No.
Hello, everyone.
You can swear, but just don't reveal any terrible secrets.
Fuckity.
And don't mention the last time you were in a clinch with Paul Hollywood.
I would never.
Never. Ma, it's just so annoying.
I can't believe you even said that.
He's terrible. He's just winding her up.
It's only because Nadia's jealous.
I would love to be in a clinch with Tom Hardy.
Oh!
That's the only one. This is my friend Lisa, for anyone that's new. Everyone's saying, hi, Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
If you're new here, Lisa is a big part of our channel. She does Lisa Loves in our members area, which last week was bloody hilarious. Us just trying to get
Did you see the montage at the beginning?
Yes, I did see the beginning.
It's so
Are
funny.
you having a drink?
Generally,
Yeah.
faffing around like we always do.
Yeah.
I could watch it for hours,
I was
though.
howling with laughter. Are you having a drink? No, are you having a drink? Honestly. And then I pull a face and she's on a Zoom from her house. And you actually said, are you pulling a face?
I knew you were pulling a face.
Oh,
Absolutely
Lisa.
was pulling a face.
Lisa, Steffi Quinlan says Tom Hardy lives near her.
No.
Oh my God, Stephanie, please DM me and tell me your address.
There you go. Does he live at the bottom of your garden?
I would be it was bad enough doing his makeup and I was kind of dribbling. my face.
She regularly says to her kids that she would leave them for him.
All the time, ever since they were little, I said I would leave you and everything and Dad. And how awful is that?
That's given us a great topic, actually. Who would you leave your beloved family for?
Well, I mean, my worry is a little bit more tangible. It's freaking Andy Burnham. He just has to come down to London for one quick
And ask for
podium
a
chat,
pie.
and that's it.
If
She's
he
gone.
comes and asks for a pie, I'll be gone.
Total storm addict. Hello.
Anyway, darling, I love you. I'll call you after.
I love you too.
Love you, Lise.
Bye.
Take care, sweetie.
Bye.
She's now gone off to crack open a bottle of gin. She could be less of an addict if she tried.
No.
Right, so someone was asking who is playing Prince Andrew, and the actor playing Prince Andrew is James Murray, which you posted about on Popcorn Junkies, and he's a very good-looking chap. But I mean, look at him there, very good-looking. But
Far too good looking for Prince Andrew.
I know. I mean, I suppose.
for God's
look at his
sake.
eye. I know. I mean, they're really. Mind you, when Prince Andrew was young, was he good-looking? No.
We just had a young photo.
Yeah, we just saw a young photo.
He was nice enough. He had youth on his side.
Now, the big news story is that I can't pronounce her surname, but Virginia Giuffre, is it? Giuffre? Virginia Giuffre is bringing a lawsuit against Prince Andrew, and it's a curious one because under
Faith Goodman just said, I bet Sarah Ferguson is pleased she was on Loose Women yesterday
Yeah,
and not today.
yeah.
You're so right.
I bet.
Because she was on the show yesterday. We interviewed her and she actually did talk about Prince Andrew. She was standing in Windsor Park for the interview and about her new book. And we didn't really know whether she would answer anything about it.
No,
Jane
I'm not
asked her a
surprised.
question. And first of all, can I say, she was absolutely lovely, the most charming and sweet person.
I think she's quite fun.
And Jane said that, because you know Jane used to be a royal correspondent, she said the press pack absolutely loved Sarah Ferguson
Right.
because she was always down to earth.
One of us.
Always really kind. You know, she was talking about, not yesterday, but on the brief, she was talking about how agonising it was to be called the Duchess of Pork. She actually does name it, and like all the overeating, how she tried to get bulimia.
I didn't realise she
because
was, I suppose.
she was friends with Princess Diana when Princess Diana was 14 and she was 16.
Wow. Oh, right.
Diana actually introduced her to Andrew. And she talked again, but she didn't say this on air because we didn't have time, but she was saying how she'd always envied Diana and she'd always wanted to be like Diana. And if she'd known about bulimia, apparently somewhere she said this once, she would have, she wished she could have had it almost. This wasn't on Loose Women again, this was just somewhere else. Anyway, so very complex person, Sarah Ferguson. She had a lot to deal with. Her mother left her when she was young, but such a lovely person. So it was very, you know, yesterday when she spoke about Prince Andrew, my God, I mean, the loyalty to the man is quite extraordinary. She just effused about what
Doesn't
a
she
wonderful
still live
person.
with him? Doesn't she live in his home?
Yeah,
One of his houses, yeah.
Yeah. And she, you know, she's off to Balmoral this weekend with him.
So she's still fully in the fold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Prince Andrew, she might be holding him a little bit at arm's length because Prince Andrew has always denied, obviously, any sexual contact with Virginia Giffey. I'm going to call her Giffey. But the law that they're using, the civil suit that they're using in New York, is a lawsuit brought under the Child Victims Act, which is a 2019 New York state law. And what's interesting about this is it's not privy to the statute of limitations.
Oh, because I was going to say, because there is this dreadful statute of limitations.
Yeah, but there isn't under this brand new law. It's a law that allows victims to make legal claims of abuse that occurred when they were children, regardless of when or how long ago the alleged abuse occurred.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Giffey has repeatedly made her allegations against Epstein, Maxwell and Andrew, but the suit is the first time she's directly confronted Andrew in a formal setting.
So he has always maintained
his innocence.
Complete innocence,
Yeah.
and also he has maintained that he has offered to help the FBI in their investigations, hasn't it? Now, it seems to be, if I remember rightly, they're also saying from the other side of the pond that they want him to come there to talk, and he has, because he's not legally obliged to, he's always refused that. And I think for a lot of people have been very uncomfortable with that, haven't they? It's like if he really hasn't got anything to hide, why doesn't he speak to them? And that's I think where sort of the last place we were at with it. So what will this mean? That might this mean he has to go to America to answer his case? I don't know.
Well, I think there's going to be enormous public pressure, isn't there? I mean, I don't know whether this.
But I wonder if there's going to be legal, because I don't think he would really mind about the public pressure, would he?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
If he's not legally bound, surely his lawyers will be recommending to him that
the court documents state explicitly Prince Andrew committed sexual assault and battery upon plaintiff when she was 17 years old.
She claims, yeah.
She claims, yeah. Well, so once again, I think we're in this sort of nebulous.
What about the sex trafficking? Is that Epstein?
That's Epstein,
he's not included in that.
But I think we're in that nebulous kind of no man's land of, well, okay, they've asked for that and they're doing this, but how is it going to manifest itself and how it's going to operate? Someone there suggesting maybe if Fergie was getting some nice interviews out because she knew what was coming today. I don't know. You sort of wonder whether there's timing around all these things, don't you?
I mean, yeah, you never know, do you? Because it's like in the old days, nothing could go out in the papers unless you'd been approached and asked. But these days, that's all out the window. People they can print stuff without actually even checking if
anything's true.
What he says is true. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, at the same time, they are legally obliged to seek a comment, which is why you'll sometimes see no comment. What do you think, guys? Do you think Prince Andrew should head over and answer the charges? I'd have thought everyone does, don't they? I think everyone feels that it's the only thing that will quieten this down. I mean, I'm sure his mother's probably saying, "For God's sake, Andrew."
No, but the lawyers. No, but the lawyers. If it was going to do him good, he would have been advised to go, wouldn't he? Do you not think?
I don't know.
Or just lawyers incredibly careful?
I just think, I mean, I think they're just going to potentially just keep kicking it into the long grass, aren't they, until someone at some point. I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell is due to sort of spill the beans, isn't she, in the next sort of 6 weeks?
Is she?
Yeah, it starts, doesn't it? Her
do you think she
trial.
will spill the beans? I mean, if you're facing life, you're going to do anything, aren't you?
It's going to be an intriguing moment, and I think if they televise it in any way, or if they, we get reports. I mean, I'd have thought they won't televise it because it's such an enormous That said, though, didn't they televise the Weinstein? I think they did.
Yeah, they did, because that's how we saw all the clips, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, that's Prince Andrew.
So what do you feel about it, guys? Where do you... I mean, I'd kind of forgotten about Prince Andrew, to be honest. What do you think?
Shiraz Samad, trial by media would be fun. My only worry about any trial by media, of course, is that it compromises the evidence, because I think her legal team have already tried to say so much is in the public realm, she can't have an impartial, court case. So
Yes, Stuart G.
So I think there is a worry there.
Absolutely, a member of the royal family can go to prison. I mean, they have to abide by all the
MT,
same
he can
laws
ignore
of
it. MT, he can ignore it. Nothing can happen to him if he does not come to the USA.
Really?
So I just guess he can't travel there. It's just going to be how they manage the PR of him constantly avoiding. I heard someone say recently that perhaps he'll do another interview, God forbid.
No, he wouldn't.
Well, I think he might be surprised.
I think disastrous interview of all time. I bet they replay it.
Yeah.
Bet you anything we're going to get that.
Oh,
replayed.
Samantha Stern, that's interesting. Let's do a swap. USA send back Harry Dunkiller and we send Andrew over.
Yeah. Oh, that poor
Isn't
family.
there talk that the woman who did kill Harry Dunn was on her mobile phone, I think, when she was driving? Wasn't it? I think they've discovered that that's... Yeah, and
we saw them doing a
recently,
long
didn't we?
interview, didn't we? And we were just so impressed by them, how they loathe any kind of limelight, this family, but they really, and they haven't even started their grieving really yet, have they? You can see that they're just broken inside, but they're just driven to get this justice for their son and him not to be just a life that could just be... Well, yeah, it happened. Yeah, we don't really know what happened. I mean, the thing is, she wasn't even a diplomat herself.
No, she was the wife of a diplomat.
Yeah.
So, the other big news today is obviously A-level results. Record numbers of students get A grades, A stars and higher. Nearly half of students, 44.8%, were awarded an A or an A star this summer, up by a whopping 6.3% on last year, according to the Joint Council for Qualifications. Now,
Right.
before Nadia kicks in, because I know she's been listening to this on the radio, some of my causes for concern around A-level, I think we have exceptional circumstances. So I'm just going to lay out quickly my thoughts on this, and then you can tell me what you thought from the radio show. My feeling on this is, really, all bets are off. It's such an unusual set of circumstances that we've been through, that to read too much into whether too many A's or A stars have been awarded and all this kind of stuff is kind of irrelevant on this occasion. But equally, I think it would be absolutely reprehensible if in years to come, people look back at the grades of the kids that are getting these grades this year and are told it's just because you were the I don't know, pandemic kids or the COVID kids or whatever you want to say. On a different level though, and then I'll shut up, I do think we have a real cause for concern in that more and more, the logical conclusion of this is that everyone eventually will get an A and an A star. It's getting to a point where the numbers are going up so much, and that's not a problem with this year, this is a problem going on year from year, which is why the other story I want to talk about is, are too many people going to university? Is this sort of a sort of fake aspiration?
On BM, homeschooling clearly had a good effect.
Well, exactly. So discuss all those thoughts, and I'm going to hand over to Nats because she came down.
So basically this morning, I've put a rant up on my Instagram and a lot of you have answered it. I was listening to Nick Ferrari on LBC, and the complete tone and the narrative that he was driving, no matter what anybody said and called in and said, was that we've got this situation. Basically what he was saying was that teachers are all going to fix it. They're going to skew it all that they get an A. The kids that get an A or get an A star are going to be sat in front of employers in years to come. They go, oh, you've got an A and A star. Oh, a child of 2021, and dismiss it. Or they're not going to get into university because everybody's got an A star. He had some really good calls that he just wouldn't listen to. This fantastic chap rang up and he said, do you know what? He goes, I'm expecting a really good result from my son today. And he went, well, I'm sure you are, because let me tell you, if I was a teacher, I'd be skewing it so they all get a good result.
Why?
And he said,
Why would
well,
you be
actually, because it makes them look better if their kids have got an A star. So the first thing that the chap answered him with was, well, actually, I think that's quite dismissive of the profession. My wife's a teacher,
agree.
and she wouldn't, there's some integrity here. Allow them some integrity. Secondly, he said, my son, I believe, is going to do well because he had no distractions. So he was a studious boy anyway, but he was studying double tongue because A, there was no places to go and nothing to do. B, you know, just the distraction within a class. You know, like they say, it takes 10, 15 minutes quite often to settle a class enough to listen. Do you know what? It was like the man hadn't spoken, because the narrative for today, regardless of what the truth is, because it sells, is these A stars and these A's, wow, you know, these kids. And it just made me so cross. Made me cross for the parents that have gone through all the stress and the worry and supporting their kids through the exam process. And also the kids. I mean, for God's sake, they've been locked up for nearly 18 months. They've missed their friends. They've missed so many important life moments. And now you're going to try and take this away from them as well. I just thought, shame on you.
Well, Izzy Perry says, why can't we just accept that children have done well? It's been the same since I was at school. Every year the adults seem to be baffled by this.
I mean, every year we hear, oh, well, it's not like when the O-levels.
No.
That's not the kid of today's fault.
That's not what I'm saying either when I say I think we need to explore. Because I do think that there's a sort of float to the top, or a drain to the top, if you like, where we start creating things like I mean, for example, why create an A star? Why not just make an A what an A star is?
I just don't understand it.
The whole thing just gets a little bit ludicrous.
You know, we drive, and the point that I wanted to make also in my rant was, you know, for those that have got the results that they want, then well done, bloody well done, and congratulations, and well done for putting the hard graft in. But, and this is a really important but for me, you are sold the narrative that the only way you will make a success in your life is if you get these grades in these exams. Now, obviously for certain professions, you need certain, you know, academic qualifications. And if that's the case, then you keep needing to retake them until you get whatever it is you need. But it's not the only way to have a successful life. And I really worry about kids whose mental health is already on the bloody floor, being led to believe, A, if they've got a good result, it's not really going to mean anything. And B, if they didn't get a good result, there's no future for them. Because it's not true. Everything that I was criticised for at school makes me the success that I am today. I mean, if you read my report, it sounds like a job description for loose women.
Yeah, and
honest to God, it does.
And I also think that's what's really important is what gets forgotten is everyone focuses on all the passes and all the A stars and all the A's, for example, in the news there. No one spares a thought for those kids who haven't hit those grades or haven't even, you know, got a pass of any level. Let me get that.
No, you carry on. Do you want me to send?
Who haven't got a pass or anything like that. So, you know, my heart kind of goes out to those kids who are hearing all of that. And the important thing to remember is you are not solely assessed based on your exam grades. I mean, like someone just said just a minute ago, they've never been asked for their GCSE grades. I was never asked for my O-level grades. I've never actually been asked for my A-level grades. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's not the only barometer or marker of success or potential success. I think that's one of the other narratives that's really important. It is something that we talk about in our book. I see someone was just mentioning about our book. There's Sophie Jane Matilda, thank you for your kind words. And one of the things that I worry about is that because we have this locked in, narrow cast vision of what education is, if you don't tick the boxes within this narrow cast vision of education as a child, you're made to feel that your opportunities and options in life are going to go out the window. And they're just not. They're just not. You know, when I've employed people, I'm not just looking at their grades, you're looking at what their life experiences are. You're looking at what their interests are. You're looking at how they present to you in front of you. Are they personable? Do you want them on the phone? Do you want them representing you, your company? Do you want them in your crew? Are they going to be a team player? All these kind of things are crucial. And I don't look at the grade. Now, of course, the discipline and all that kind of stuff of learning is one of the massively important parts of it. But I think focusing on the A stars and A's, it's great. Let's not forget the kids who haven't hit the grade and ensuring that they don't feel like they're left on a slag heap of no opportunity and no potential. And I think in a weird way, part of that feeds into my belief that as a society, we are suggesting to too many kids that university is the sole most meaningful development in life. It isn't. It isn't the most meaningful next step. It can be for some, and I think we need to get back to a system where we're encouraging apprenticeships, which I think is starting to come through. And that's my feeling on the whole sort of university thing. I do think we're sending too many kids to university to get into debt, to get qualifications that aren't practicable in the work environment. Though that doesn't mean I'm saying degrees should only have a financial incentive. But I do think that this narrative that you get grades, you go to college, it's about, if I'm honest, it's about government figures keeping kids occupied for longer so they don't fall on the unemployed lists and they don't fall on any other lists that the government's kind of looking at. And whilst on the one hand, it's really great that kids are getting A's and A stars, and we shouldn't denigrate their success, and within the system that they're doing it, it's a huge achievement. The fact that maybe more and more people are getting A's and A stars is about the grading system. It's not about the work of the students. And the fact that the one narrative we say to all kids is go to university. And if you don't go to university, you're a failure. It's not for everyone. It's just not for everyone. If I'd gone to
university, shout out to Hannah. Hi, Hannah. If I'd gone to university, I know what I would have done. I would have just raved like a crazy person because my brain wasn't there for that at that time. I would have just spent a load of money. It would have been chaos. It wasn't right for me.
Well, you'd have ended up now in more debt than you could ever imagine. £40,000 of debt.
I would have been better probably in my 30s going, because at that time I just had this, I think my ADD as well was not, I was just raging. But I thank God for my parents not making me feel like I was a failure because I chose not to go. And I think it is about getting that balance, working out what does each individual child, what's right for them, not just that it's written from the moment you're pregnant that they're going to university, because it isn't for everyone. I've just got this, so I'm always banging on about it. That's the one I get. I know a lot of you have been asking, and it's from Amazon. It's called Super Self D3, vitamin D3 and K2.
Did you say you had some comments that you wanted to read out?
No, that's all right. Okay. All right. We've done a lot.
I mean, I and this is another story that broke 2 days ago, and it was actually the head of an education charity who was saying that he feels that too many young people are going to university. I mean, there are many educationalists who believe this is the case too. Many people would do better doing apprenticeships.
Yeah, they're a business. They're going to expand their capacity because they're a business.
Not necessarily. You mean universities are a business?
Not necessarily because those kids are right. I wish there were more polytechnics or whatever they call it. I wish there were more practical colleges, and it wasn't seen as a failure to do something more hands-on, because it's not. We need every kind of person to make the world go round.
Absolutely. And for those who sort of say,
and I've worked with loads of people over the years that have got degrees, and I'm like, really? It's not the be all and end all. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful, be smart.
It also doesn't make you. It doesn't make you an entirely emotionally intelligent person. You might have the highest grades, but you can also not function within a teamwork situation.
You were saying that though, were you? That the interview, that was one of the things I was really annoyed about with Nick Ferrari, because if there was a young person listening there and he gave this impression, oh right. So, a child of 2021 and chucking the CV. Come on. How many people actually in a job interview situation sit looking at a person's A-level results? They don't.
No, they don't.
They don't. Do you know Who are you? What are you about? How present are you? How engaged are you? How enthusiastic? Are you sitting on the edge of your chair ready to go? I work with some people, that have got a degree, that come in and sit like this and talk like this, and it's just like, really? What, you've had all that education about that, and you're not even just
I agree. I mean,
so
when
there's hope for everyone.
When we were writing our book all about homeschooling, I've thought long and hard about, what is the right solution? And I sometimes think, they say, don't they, sometimes, that is it youth comes to us at the wrong time of our lives, in a sense?
Youth is wasted on the young.
Youth is wasted on the young, yeah. And I sometimes wonder, we need to get to some kind of system whereby we are all entitled to some kind of further, higher, whatever you want to call it, education. And you're allowed to choose when you do that across your life.
Yeah.
And I think that, you could make the decision when you are financially more equipped, when you've got more orientation, and then degrees aren't just about finding a job and all that kind of stuff. I think there has to be some way of getting away from, there's this really stressful gully between 18 and 21 of keeping your time occupied. Because what's happening in the university situation is so many people are getting BAs or first degrees that people are now moving to MAs. to distinguish themselves. That was happening when I was at college, and I went on to do an MA because it felt like, right, you need that extra qualification.
Well, Anastasia Alexander's saying too many people are going to university. It's become a minimum requirement for entry-level jobs, even though kids out of school can do those jobs perfectly fine. Exactly. That's not right, is it? And you know, the other big mistake, and we know this from Maddie and some of her friends, that families make is saying to kids, you'll go to university and it will be the best years of your life. And many people go to university and have an extraordinary time, and you know, they're at that seat of learning and like experiencing and sharing with people and having extraordinary social time, making friends for life. But many don't. And it causes real problems with mental health, because it's like, oh my God, if this is supposed to be the best time of my life and I'm this miserable, what's the rest of my life going to be
I think
like?
we fit upon our subject for confessions this week. Lorraine Gregory, when I was in management, this is what I experienced, Lorraine, when we were employing people.
Sorry.
Jesus, would you do that on loose?
Yeah, but they're in our house.
Lorraine Gregory,
I'd do that if they were sat here and I was
when
chatting
I
to
was
them.
in management, I will be honest, we took a quick look at CVs, and it's the outside interests we took more notice of, and that was how we decided on who we offered appointments for.
Wow, there you go, from Lorraine
exactly
Gregory.
the same.
Thank you. That's so important for people to hear today.
I mean, I had young kids come to me that had gone to Dulwich Prep, got this, got that, and when they sat down, they couldn't have a conversation. They had the grades, and there's no criticism of them, but they couldn't have a conversation. When you started to throw, okay, so you've got a situation, you've got someone you're filming with, they're feeling emotional, what do you do? They're carry on filming. No, you don't carry on. You know, it's that sort of human intelligence.
Do you remember when we first went into the pandemic and everyone else, like people were saying to me about their kids, like that's a great one from Sophie, because look, she says our book should be part of teacher training. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you.
You know, people were saying at the beginning of the pandemic, oh my God, my kids are so bored. This was in week 1. And we were saying, God, our kids literally never say to us they're bored, never. And I do think part of that is, in school, they are just so, and don't forget, we are believers in school. 90% of children should be at school. We're not anti-school. But I do think sometimes there's not enough attention paid to the other stuff outside of just driving them towards exams. So sometimes they don't actually get to find out what really makes their heart sing and what is their little flame. You know, it's just about, you know, heading towards this big date and this results day. And that's why I was extra cross and upset today that you know, just the cream's been taken off the top of that.
Mo Power says it's $70,000 to $150,000 a year in the USA for university.
Good God.
Inga Meze, I hope I've pronounced your surname correctly. It is
that's
because we are
elitist,
it is
isn't
because
it?
we are it's because we are slowly but surely adopting the US blueprint. In a few years' time, the only jobs people without degrees will be able to get will be in fast food. It's called qualification inflation. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I'll tell you one thing else that's a real cause for concern, and this government is, and this is another problem with this government, is that the cultural sector is afforded such little respect or value, even though, like a small example is that theatrical thing. You might think, oh, theatre's not for me, it's for posh people. Forget the theatre. Okay, don't go to the theatre. But all of the ancillary industries in central London can't function without tourists coming to go to the theatre. So, you know, without nurturing it, you can't, you know, there are there's a need for creative expression. If you didn't have actors, you'd have nothing on your countless streaming services.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting, you know, I mean, look at what AI is going to be able to do.
Oh,
practically
seamlessly.
Everything.
Seamlessly.
What are they never going to be able to do? The heart, the emotional side, the art, the theatre, the singing. How are they going to be able to touch us in the way that humans need to be? They're going to be able to do everything else. I mean, interestingly, psychology has become a hugely important degree because again, AI can't understand our minds. You know, at your peril, ignore the arts, because it's actually what this country could be enormously proud of, and it's a huge asset.
Yeah. And talking of AI, just quickly to end this chat on, it's just been announced today by the Alzheimer's Research UK charity that AI will be able to diagnose you with dementia in a matter of an hour.
I don't think I want to know.
Researchers at Cambridge University have developed an approach using AI that can diagnose dementia from a single brain scan and provide doctors, this is the bit that I wanted to ask you all about, provide doctors with information about the person's prognosis.
Hang on a minute. Is this available now?
No, the Cambridge University team will now work with doctors at Addenbrooke's to test the AI approach in real-world setting with patients that are now coming into the memory clinic with concerns about dementia. So yes, it's going to be tested in the real-world setting now. What I wanted to ask...
Hang on a minute.
What?
Okay, so is this like a scanning machine? They're calling it artificial intelligence, but it's a scanning machine.
Yeah, but the AI is within the computerized technology that will be able to assess what you are now and where you're going to.
Well, that's very good, because they do have some medications now where if you get them, there's that new one recently, wasn't it, that we did on Coffee Moaning in America that has just been licensed. That if your Alzheimer's is caught early enough, they saw like a 30% improvement or something like that. So this would be very important. But the trouble is, I just wouldn't want to know that early.
Well, that's the question I wanted to ask all you guys. If you had the opportunity to take the scan, would you?
If I had the opportunity to take the scan and I was going to be given treatment that could delay the build-up of plaque, yes. But if I'm just being told it so I can knit more and try and get some neurons,
people saying,
I wouldn't, because I don't want to know. I don't want to know if I've got Alzheimer's. It's my biggest fear. I just.
Coffee helps. I mean, you know, it is plaque in the brain. There are certain things that really help. I mean,
well, you know, one of the most important things as well is aerobic exercise, pumping oxygen to the brain, which I haven't done much of.
I don't think I could. I mean, I'm a classic bloke. I'd rather not know what's going on than know, because I don't want to then face the prospect of it. Because I'm one of those believers that if you find out bad news, like a cancer diagnosis and all that, sometimes I worry that people sort of fall at the news.
Lisa always says that, but her mum.
Does she? Yeah.
But you know, it's the #1 killer in women in this country.
Dementia, yeah.
And it's women. And why is that? Because estrogen and the brain are connected.
Do you know that more women this past year have died of dementia every day than COVID?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, when you even it out, I'm not talking about on the days when 2,000 people were dying.
Yeah, so things you can do are cut down on alcohol, increase your aerobic exercise.
Coffee.
Drink coffee. Eat things like salmon, and if you're vegan or vegetarian, flaxseed to get those essential oils. And also, one of the most important things they say is social interactivity. So even this,
I'm fucked in that department.
that we are doing now. No, but we're doing it now.
Oh, I
so
see.
don't, like, if you're sat home saying, "Oh, I don't see many people."
Yeah, it puts pressure on people.
It's engaging. It's engaging with other people, engaging with different ideas, talking, challenging yourself, challenging your thought processes. That's learning a new skill. Like Mark's just about to learn the piano. I want to learn knitting.
Can you knit and play the piano?
I really want to learn the piano too.
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence. I just feel like I'll try it and then I'll fail. But learning something new, those are all really, really good things to do.
Karen A. Smith, all this worsens health
smoking.
anxiety. I agree. Clodagh Egan, interesting point, could be hereditary. I wonder how much all those things can combat it if it is hereditary. And Jennifer Kando backing you up there saying flaxseed is
You know
a miracle.
what? And flax seeds, you can just put them in everything. You put them in your soup, put them in your cereal, sprinkle them. You can't taste
Can
them.
you put them in your coffee?
No, that would be silly. Well, I suppose if you ground it. Another really, really good thing is turmeric. The absolute research is out now on turmeric for the brain. My dad has the most incredible memory, and he has turmeric every day. But it must be cooked turmeric, and you must also have a little black pepper with it.
Right.
Isn't that fascinating? Don't you just love that? That those two things together create something that, you know, some chemical reaction that helps the brain and the memory.
Crazy.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Crazy. Steph Bassier says, Nadia, I want to see how long you'll stick to knitting.
About a minute.
Yeah. Intriguing. Guys,
Hit the like button. We've liked spending time with you.
Yeah, we've really liked
If
it.
you've liked spending time with us, then please hit the like button just under my breast.
Can I?
Turmeric tea, exactly, Andrea. And I buy the fresh one and grate it into hot water. My sister Dina makes turmeric biscuits. They're yum.
Amy May, learning a language delays Alzheimer's by 3 years.
Yeah, learning a language.
And it's also about using the opposite side of your brain. So if you do lots of things with your right hand, try and do as many things with your left hand. It's about mixing it up. It's about changing your sort of the easy routes to doing things.
Susan Wilson, my mum did all of those things and still died of dementia. And bless you. And of
it's
course,
not a silver bullet.
This isn't like, oh my God, you do all these things, you won't get it. But it's like anything we do. You know, you can exercise brilliantly, eat well, and then still get a heart attack. But it's about doing as much as you can to maybe stave it off.
I've got a couple of welcomes. So hit the like button if you've enjoyed our natter. A couple of likes, a couple of welcomes, sorry. A particular one to Zoe Zigzag. I noticed that you've created a completely new account, so you must be desperate to have become a family guest member, which is lovely. So Zoe Zigzag,
Zoe Zigzag.
Zigzag, Zoe Zigzag.
Welcome, Zoe Zigzag.
Zigzag.
Zoe Zag, Zoe Zag, Zoe Zigzag.
There you go. I'm sure you weren't expecting that so soon after becoming a member of YouTube.
Yeah, come on guys, hit the like button. Let's get us to 200 likes.
And Alison Barber, you can go for her.
Alison Barber, Alison Barber, Alison Barber. Welcome to the family guest area, Alison Barber. Oh,
so guys,
sweetheart, Dawn Evans' husband's just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 59.
Sweetheart.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh my God, big hug.
I forgot to say to you yesterday, I'll just share this quickly and then we have to go. I was driving out of a car park yesterday, and as I was driving out, there was an old man and he was walking in a very vulnerable fashion, sort of in the middle of the car park. Me and another car pulled over because he was trying to go up the slope upstairs and he looked really confused. I got out of the car, and then the couple got out of the other car, and we were asking him, we said, "Where are you okay? Where are you going?" And he just looked at us like he didn't understand us. And then we had to escort him in to the lift to go up to Sainsbury's, and then the other couple took him upstairs. But I think he clearly was demonstrating the disorientation of dementia.
I mean, I think sometimes we always assume people are drunk. And there's so many. I mean, we were watching a documentary the other day, weren't we, about that scientist, and both his brother and sister had that unusual a genetic thing where they just looked like they were drunk, but actually they were in trouble. So it's always worth just a little careful second look, because sometimes people just might need a friendly hand. So Dawn, we're sending a big hug to you. That's a lot to deal with, and awful for your husband, but very tough on you. So big love, and keep us posted throughout on how you're managing and how you're coping. And we know this is a brilliant community that puts their arms around, makes me weep, because you're all so lovely. Honestly, the things they were saying on Instagram about our coffee moaning was just so lovely. And it's everything that we want this to be. What coffee moaning is everything that we wanted it to be. And you guys help us as much as we help you. And interestingly, the other day, when Ruby Wax was on Loose Women, she was talking about these frazzled communities that she runs every night and she chairs, and she was saying it's one of the most amazing things of all the things she's done. She loves that the most out of theatre and everything, and she said people never realise how much I get from doing it, and Mark and I do.
I feel exactly the same.
Yeah,
exactly. Guys,
we love you lots, jelly tots.
Have a lovely day, guys, and we'll see you later with some more mad content. There's a vlog, there's a green figured hell.